So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Q&A. As always, if you want to get your question answered, very, very simple. All you have to do is hit subscribe, turn on post notifications, and randomly somewhere throughout the week, I'll be posting a community post asking any and all questions. And all you have to do is just comment within the first 1 to 2 hours. And that's usually when I take a look, pick some questions, and kind of sit on them for the next Q&A. So with no further ado, let's get straight into it. Question number 1, where to learn about the truth in foods? What is actually healthy? Well, I guess this is tough to answer because it's like, it depends what lens you're looking at it. Because look, through one person's lens, a paleo diet is the best diet. And through another person's lens, vegan diet is the best diet. And through another person's lens, carnivore is the best diet or like the best way of eating. So it honestly all depends what sort of lens you're looking at it through. And by the way, there's no one size fits all. Like vegan diet is not best for everyone. Carnivore diet is not best for everyone. Keto is not best for everyone. Paleo is not, like, you know what I mean? Like there is no one size fits all. It is all case by case, and everyone has different reasons as to, why they're eating a certain way and this and that. So, it's a tough question to answer, honestly. There are certain truths, and I think there's, I get annoyed when certain people, like, they'll deny just facts, and fact, humans evolved the way we are because of our ability to eat meat. If you look back 2.5 million years ago, we were able to, hunt and scavenge. The only thing that annoys me is when people avoid or try to dismiss just things that are set in stone and facts. Like, it's just, I don't think anyone can make a case that humans are not meant to eat meat. I can understand why potentially someone would not want to for ethical or moral reasons, or maybe religious. Well, actually, I don't think religious, but ethical or moral reasons. I totally understand that. And within my team, my CMO used to be vegan. Funnily enough, now he's pretty much entirely carnivore plus avocados. And feeling better. I mean, Danny's biomarkers are like nothing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like his ketone levels, his sleep. When he started eating meat last summer, he became the sleep king in our team. It's nuts, honestly. But I also have pescatarians in my team. Whatever works best for a person, honestly. But as I said, humans are meant to eat meat. There's nothing in our body that is there. Everything is intentional in our body. And like, I've even seen, Netflix documentaries, and I even believed it, because they're so enticing and they're so like, they make it seem so truthful. They make an argument for our teeth and, how we don't have the sort of teeth where we could, bite into an animal or kill an animal with our teeth. And that's not the point. Humans didn't evolve like this because of our ability to hunt or, in the same way a lion would hunt. It was our ability to, basically our ability and the way that we evolved and formed an understanding for how to build tools to hunt, right? And then tools to hunt, and how we were able to sharpen stones so that way we could cut into animals and cut into meat. And anyone that says like by the way, humans can eat raw organs. Like, it's funny because obviously we as humans, we tend to go for lean cuts of meat. That is actually the least desirable. Looking back over the past few million years or a couple million years, the tribe leader a million years ago, 500,000 years ago, they would get the honor of the organs because those are really. If you look at the micronutrient profile of that, like that is the powerhouse. And then the especially the leaner cuts of meats, like that's really the least desirable out of everything. So yeah, look, my point is, I've seen people have made an argument for teeth, but yes, you're right. Humans, we didn't become like this because, we hunt in the way that a lion does, and, we run after an animal and we bite into it. And you're right. But humans are like this because we evolved and we were able to create tools to hunt, to cut into animals, to eat. And as I said, you can eat raw organs fully, just raw, like even now. And a lot of people do eat raw organs. And to be honest, I wouldn't say I eat raw organs, but when I eat liver, I eat it almost raw. And I want to train myself to get to the point where I eat it raw because I said that is the best thing for humans. yeah, so I guess my point is, so there's that. But if you just want an end of discussion, like the pH of our stomach is 1.5, I believe. The pH of gorillas is like 4.5, a lot more alkaline, which makes sense. We our gut microbiome and our digestion system is made for processing meat, right? I think lions are 1.5 as well. So like, you just gotta ask yourself, like, why would humans need such an acidic stomach if we're made to eat plants? Like, it makes no sense at all. But yeah, as I said, I can't really answer that question for you because it depends what lens you're looking at. For me, I don't care what way a person eats as long as they cut out most processed shit, then you'll be fine. Like, honestly, just cut out most processed shit. Try to eat stuff that comes from like it isn't man-made, if that makes sense, and you'll be good. Like, most of the stuff that I eat is, most of the times for breakfast, I've actually been practicing, or maybe the best way to tell you is I'll just tell you what I'm doing. And if it makes sense to you, then you can do it too. Like today, here's what I'm gonna eat. For breakfast, I had 200 grams of smoked salmon, and I had 2 whole avocados. Technically that comes out to like 26 grams of carbs. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm doing carnivore. Now I'm transitioning into keto, but I think I'll pretty much just be like keto carnivore. And yeah, so I have 2 whole avocados, and I have 200 grams of salmon. Between, kind of like I'll have one in the morning and then one in sort of the afternoon, I have a butter latte. Now, keep in mind, guys, my goal is this is the first time in like 4 years where I've actually been able to gain muscle. Like, it's so hard for me. Like, I have to eat so many calories, and at the end of the day, my mental performance is the most important thing to me. So if I make zero progress aesthetically or like, in terms of building muscle and this and that, I couldn't care less. For me, mental performance is everything. So, for me to eat like a diet with carb, like a traditional sort of diet, and eat all of that clean, and get, even 3,500 calories in is a lot of volume, like as in literal volume in your stomach. So I feel super full. So one thing I've been loving about carnivore is you can do it either way. Like, if you're trying to lose weight and lean down, it's quite filling. Because obviously you're having fat and protein, but then on the flip side, you can get really calorically dense stuff in a low volume. What I mean by that is, like, I do a stick of butter a day. And I've been testing with like milk. Like, I've been trying raw milk, and I used to think that I was good with milk, and I realized, like, no, actually, I thought I was good with milk because before I would have so many variations of things in my life. But then now that I've isolated and I've just slowly reintroduced, one thing after the next, I realized, like, no, actually, I'm not that great with lactose. So, but butter, there's no issue at all. There's basically, zero lactose or very, very minimal amounts of lactose in butter. So I actually do a stick of butter a day, and that gets me an extra 1,300 calories, and I feel great. I feel amazing. So yeah, around like, if I eat breakfast, which I said is a new thing from now. Before, I used to not eat breakfast. I used to do intermittent fasting. I've been reintroducing breakfast and just trying to see how it goes. And I've been doing that for the past 4 or 5 weeks, and it's going well. So with breakfast, as I said, I do salmon, avocado, so 2 avocados, smoked salmon, around like 10 o'clock or whatever, I'll do one of these butter lattes, a bit of stevia in there as well. Just sweeten up a little. It's nothing crazy. It's not the nicest thing ever, but it's also, it's smooth. It's like a nice little treat thingy, and it gets my calories in, and I feel like, I have that with the MCT. I feel incredible. And then for lunch, I'll usually do, for lunch, sometimes I skip. That's another thing. I've been skipping lunch recently sometimes. Like, I see how I feel, and sometimes I literally just skip lunch. Or if I do lunch, I'll do maybe 6 eggs, and some bacon, which once again, like, it's funny because like all the stuff that like has such a bad rep for being unhealthy, but it's honestly just not. Yeah, just make sure all this stuff, by the way, none of you cook in any of that like horrible, just fucking vegetable oil. Never touch that shit ever. So if you cook stuff, cook it in like beef tallow, cook it in butter, cook it in olive oil isn't actually that bad, so you can do high quality olive oil. So yeah, that's what I'll do for lunch. And then for dinner, I'll tell you specifically what I'm gonna do today. I had a really good workout this morning, so I'm feeling like I'm gonna do lunch. So 6 eggs, a pack of bacon, and for dinner I'm just gonna do 3 ribeye steaks. So I'm gonna do around 750 grams of ribeye. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. And there's people who like look at my thing and they're like, that's all really bioavailable food. That's incredible food. But then we'll do coffee, and like coffee is something I don't do. I've been like, I went strict off of caffeine for 4 weeks, and then I reintroduced matcha, and then like slipped and had a bit of coffee, and then I'm taking coffee back out. So like coffee is one thing I look at and I'm like, just nah, fuck that. Like that is terrible for you. So yeah, as I said, it all depends what lens you're looking at it, and like depends what extremities. And then some people might even look at what I'm doing and they're like, the histamines in the pork is blah blah and this and that, and like there's so many. It depends. Like you can get so specific about it. As I said, my main piece of advice to you is just, as long as you stay open-minded, you can go from thing to thing. By the way, guys, next month, next year, I'm gonna go vegan for 3 months just to try it. I already, like, here's the thing: 3 months to me is like a safe amount of time to try it. I just do not believe that it's healthy for you past a year or 2 years, and I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. With, as I said, Danny, my CMO, like how his health declined, and how literally within a month he literally came back to full health. His skin cleared entirely. He used to deal with bad skin. Skin cleared entirely, like fucking shredded out and built tons of muscle. Just like, I don't know. Long story short, keep your mind open, keep an open mind, and just try a bunch of stuff out there. And also the other really important thing is question everything. Because I remember when I first started carnivore, I'm like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever. Like hands down, this is the way that we were meant to eat. This is the most primal way we were meant to eat, blah, blah, this is that. Oh, that's another thing. It's like, anyone who wants to debate me about like, are we meant to eat meat? Okay, tell me, motherfucker, like I'm from Russia, okay? What would I have eaten? When it's like piss cold in the winter, tell me what I would have eaten. Vegetables? Fruits? Yeah? So, yeah, we're like, that's just a conversation ended. We are meant to eat meat. And naturally, as I said, if you want ethically or morally, you want to not eat it, that's fine by me. As I said, I'm going vegan for 3 months next year just to try it, because I believe, you should have no dogma about anything. But try a bunch of stuff and question. Because as I said, even with carnivore, like I remember when I first started, I was like, oh my God, like this is the best thing ever. And then now I kind of look at it, I'm like, to be honest, I think it's good to get some carbs in. And as I said, I'm getting around like probably all in all with everything, 30, 35 grams of carbs a day in. And I'm eating vegetables, which, according to carnivores is like a cardinal sin.
Never ever eat vegetables or fruits or this or that, and like
even vegetable, like apparently fruits are better than vegetables, blah blah. So yeah, I don't know, just question also what you're doing personally, like everything you put in your mouth, everything you do, question it. Try to find as much unbiased viewpoints for and against it, and then go from there. Next question is, based off your story, your main motivation for starting your business came down to the desire for a better life and supporting your mom given the circumstances. If the circumstances were different, do you think you would have gone to university? And what's your thoughts on you? Considering I always, from even at a young age, I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. Like, I don't know why, but just from a young age, I knew I was going to be a business owner. So having that thought in mind, never. Like, it just makes me sick to my stomach. And it like, for me, it's just like, there's so much stuff in this world where I question, how can people not use more common sense? Like, ethically, I don't understand how someone who has never done something is allowed to teach it, right? So especially in the realm of, in the domain of marketing, of business, of entrepreneur, like, how the are these professors allowed to teach it? Like, I was laughing with one of my friends because I'm like, dude, he runs an agency. This is one of my best friends, and I'm like, you should be the one teach. And he actually goes to, he's in his final year at university, and I was joking with him. I was like, dude, you run a successful agency. Like, you should be the fucking one teaching the class because you know more than the professor does. He was telling me the professor has like 7 failed businesses or something like that, and like that's nothing against failed. Like. If the professor kept going instead of fucking becoming a professor, maybe his 8th business would have been successful. But my point is, I don't think it's ethically okay to have someone teach you something they have never done themselves. Like, in what world does that make sense? So look, if you want to become a doctor, if you want to become a lawyer, go to university. You have my blessing. Like, some of my closest friends are in university to become movers and shakers in their industries, But if you want to go to university to become an entrepreneur or to gather life skills, then just know it's the worst place on earth to get life skills and to gather information about entrepreneurship, marketing, this sort of stuff. And this is coming from someone who employs 11 people. I have never asked for a CV in my entire life ever. So it's even in this, even in the current environment we're in, your degree doesn't really mean shit. But just know that every single year that rolls by, it means even less and less. So just know that. Based off of, obviously I had the pressure of I had to take care of my mom. And that was why I ended up dropping out of school and scaling my agency even more. But at the end of the day, like, I don't like being suckered into things. As you can tell, like I'm someone who aggressively will question everything. And I just don't think it takes a genius to figure out the universities is, I can say this truthfully, one of the biggest scams on earth. Unless you want to become a doctor or like, please keep in mind when I say this stuff, I am speaking to someone who wants to become an entrepreneur, or I'm speaking to someone who honestly just wants a high quality of life and they don't really care what they do. Like that's the thing. Like, you don't need to in your mind be like, I'm a natural born entrepreneur, this is that, blah, blah. Like, for a lot of people, they're just like, look, I just want to be comfortable in my life, have time freedom, have location freedom, and I just want a career path that will get me there, right? So that's why I'm such a big fan of online business, and of all the online businesses, that's why I'm such a big fan of agency life, because it is the most consistent way to get there with the lowest footprint and the least risk. That's a big thing, is the least risk. Agency, you start bootstrap, zero investment. You honestly, I've made videos before, like you can start an agency with $0. Or, if you want to like really get an extra, get some more bang for your buck with $30 a month, you literally have 80% of the shit you need to run an agency. So, my point is, no, even if the situation with my mom was different, I'm just not an idiot. I'm not going to get suckered into, one of the biggest scams on earth. Next question. Hey, Iman. So my agency does social media management and I have about 27 clients. Congrats. Roughly about $700 per month each. I'm gathering more clients, but I'm wondering when/if at all should I hire a manager to handle all the contractors and onboarding/admin stuff as we grow. It doesn't take too long, but maybe I need a VA or something. What do you think? Yeah, I think for sure. Like, you should 100%. I mean, look, so you're at you're what, $13,500 give or take rev. It doesn't seem like, maybe your contractor costs or whatever are, two and a half, just from what I gather about your business, I assume it's pretty cheap contractor cost. $2,500, $3,000, that leaves you with a $10,000 a month in profit. I would 100% get a full-time manager, and that manager can then help manage all the communication and sort of any admin stuff with your clients. 27 clients is a lot, right? And just pay him $1,500, $2,000 a month, full time. You can get some incredible talent in Brazil, in Serbia, in wherever. And then any other spare time they have outside of that, they can help you lead source, or they can help you even reach out to clients, and they can even help with some personal assisting stuff with just your general life, or even just clearing your emails or organizing your emails. So 100% at your stage, I definitely, at your stage, with the amount of clients you have, if you had, an email marketing agency and you had, 5 clients, and those 5 clients were the ones producing $13,500 in revenue, I'd go, realistically, no, you don't need a manager. You just need, your contractor, your full-time person who actually does the service delivery. But yeah, at your stage, with the amount of clients you have being the main caveat, 100%, I would definitely bring on a manager. Next question. What do you think when people say Richard Mille is in a bubble? People often cite the fact that the company is only 20 years old for this. Do you think they will retain their value? I don't think the fact that, they're 20 years old has much to do with it, to be honest. Like, I'm not super worried about that. I'm thinking even in terms of like cars, like I don't know, like the Koenigsegg is like 20 years old, and I'm like, I don't know. I actually don't know enough about cars to comment on that. But like, my point is, like, there's some alternative car brand. Like, I don't know, how long has Bugatti been around for? Like, I don't think the fact that it's only been 20 years says anything, that doesn't concern me. I do think Richard Mille could very well be a bubble, and of all my watches I have, that's the one I'm most concerned about, like investment wise. And I'm still not super concerned about it, but it's the only one that does concern me, because like, with Patek Philippe, with one of my Patek Philippe's with my Nautilus, it's like, okay, cool. Like, worst case scenario, like honestly, worst case scenario is, by the way, these are watches I buy at market value, by the way. I lose 10% or something like that, 15%. With Richard Mille, like I do have like the idea, I just picture Hublot in my mind of like that sort of drop. But I don't think it's going to happen, honestly. They only make 5,000 pieces a year. They have a very specific clientele, and their clientele is the sort of clientele that just honestly money is no object to them. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like their clientele is just such a fuck you level of money to be able to wear a 150 grand, a 250 grand, a 500 grand, a £1 million watch on your wrist. And keep in mind, as I said, it's different from someone who drives like a £500,000 car, because you can finance that. Like really, no one's financing a watch. Like the clients at Richard Mille, they're buying these watches cash, right? And when I say cash, I mean as in obviously with card or whatever it may be, but like outright, and that's big. So of all my watches I have, I definitely say that's the only one where I'm concerned. Or it's the only one which gives me like a little, like, for me to have like 150K Patek Philippe, like that does not concern me. Like I know I have a very good grasp on the market, and obviously, as you guys know, like my watch, I'm a big watch collector and watch enthusiast, and all the watches I get at retail, I would never sell in a million years. Like for example, this 60th anniversary date, I got this at retail, never in a million years would I ever sell this thing. But my watches I buy at market value, not directly from the brands, those are the ones where I look at and, I buy them, I enjoy them, and I end up usually selling them for profit. And I time the market specifically. Like there are strategic purchases that I there are times where I will strategically buy a watch because I know it's below market, or I might find just a good deal on it, or whatever it may be. Richard Mille is definitely that one watch where I'm like, it gives me a little more anxiety. All my other watches I'm pretty solid with. And even still, Richard Mille has said, they only make 5,000 watches a year. Their wait lists are ridiculous. Like it's impossible to get a Richard Mille. And obviously I got mine directly from RM itself. And I don't know. It doesn't concern me too much, if I'm being honest. It doesn't concern me too much, to be honest. Next question is, would you say that one could start and build an SMA without buying a course beforehand, like yourself, as you start on your own and kind of learn the process of doing? Yes, 100%. Like every single person here, if you want to start an agency, go watch. I have a video, and Tristan will just pop up a little thing here. I have one on how to start a social media marketing agency in 2020. I have one on how to start a social media marketing agency with $0, so you can see how to bootstrap this thing. And if you want something even more in depth, 2.5 hours, there's a link to the free training down below. So, my point is 100% you can start this thing without any course. And I recommend every single person just take that first step, right? Because here's the thing, like, obviously a course is a turbocharged way to get there, to have everything done for you, especially with Agency Incubator, you have literally plug and plays for everything. You have a one click, you press one button, the website is ported straight into your system. You press one button, the onboarding is ported straight into your system with 4 pages of plug and play, exact step-by-step how to actually set everything up. So yeah, of course that's a huge cheat code. Of course it's a cheat code to have a 2-hour live Q&A call every week. Of course it's a cheat code to have a community of literally the most successful agency owners in the space. Of course all this stuff is a cheat code. Of course there's a cheat code to have a 25-hour program literally of everything I do in my agency outlined. Yeah, that's a cheat code, but like, if you can't do it, then just bootstrap it. And like, I love that bootstrap nature. And here's the best thing, like if you want, promise yourself once you get your first client that you'll invest in a program. It doesn't even need to be Agency Incubator, whatever you want out there, whatever you deem to be the best in the market. Go pick it up and have that as your reward for the first client. And I recommend, and I guarantee that, if the run rate to get that first client was 3 months, you get that program, you probably get, in the next 30 days, you probably get 2 more clients, because now you bootstrap, you have that knowledge, you have that work ethic, but then now, you bootstrap it and you have that, that work ethic and that consistency. And then now you add that specialized knowledge in there and really just someone to go, this is what you do, this in this order. And you're probably gonna just go to astronomical heights. So yeah, look guys, it's no secret that I'm a big fan of bootstrapping and just kind of making it happen and pushing through no matter what. So you don't need a course. You know, does it help? Is it a ridiculous competitive advantage? Of course it is, but you know, who cares? Like, you know, to me, just making it happen against all odds, no matter what, is the most important thing. So hopefully that answers your question. Ladies and gents, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you want to be drawn in to win the Gadzhi giveaway, last video's giveaway winner is in the comments down below. All you have to do is subscribe, turn on post notifications, and within 2 hours of the latest video going out, leave a comment and you'll be automatically drawn in. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next one.